My name is Larry Snelling. My title is Deputy Chief of Area 2. That's the far south side of Chicago. I grew up in Chicago in the Englewood neighborhood. It was tough growing up, but as a kid, had fun in the neighborhood. There were different times, but we focused on what was right, and just enjoyed growing up as a kid. I didn't really have a lot of encounters with the police. However, at my high school, Englewood High School, Officer Thomas was the school officer, and he was a father figure to a lot of the kids, coming from an inner city, neighborhood, kids coming from broken families, and they needed that guidance. And he was the guy that made sure that we went to class. He was the guy that made sure that we stayed on the straight and narrow and took care of each other. He took care of us. So to me, just thinking back of Officer Thomas, that was the one officer that I can absolutely say was a role model for me, and kind of led me to where I am today. I'll start by saying surreal. As a kid growing up in Englewood, you never imagined that one day you would be the commander of the district, of the police district in Englewood. I never even saw myself getting close to that. But what an honor it is to have had that position, where you get to reach out to the community, you get to deal with the community leaders, you get to deal with the kids in the neighborhood. There's so much you can do in that position, and it's an extremely challenging position, but the reward outweighs anything that you would consider bad. Anyone who's coming onto the job who goes into the academy, the first thing I would say is embrace several things: education, discipline. And the reason that you want to embrace the both of them is that once you get educated, you need that discipline to help apply what you've learned. This job is a very tough job, make no doubts about it. It's not an easy job. And I don't think anything that's great comes easy. So I think it's really important to understand that if you're going to apply this job the right way, discipline is the groundwork and the foundational point in which an officer starts to develop. When people use the word diversity, the point of it gets lost. And I like to think about empathy and inclusion, because I think as people, we all have the same dream, we all have the same goals. We want to be successful, we want to be happy, we want our families to be successful and happy. But we have different ways of getting there, different cultures, and we have to learn to embrace that. I think a lot of times people say, well, I don't see gender, I don't see race, I don't see color. I think we all see it, and I think we all should see it. I think because that's the only way that we can embrace it and understand each other and have empathy for positions that each of us hold. I also believe that our experiences in life drive us to do some of the things that we do. And I think if we understand that about each other and we're willing to have a conversation and talk to each other, I think we'll be in a better place. The first question I would ask is why they're on the fence. If being on the fence means that someone questioned your ability to do it, I would tell them never, ever allow anyone else to talk you out of doing something that you're dreaming about doing. Never let someone badmouth a position that you're willing to take. There's been a lot of negativity surrounding the police department and working the job. And I can tell you right now, I work alongside men and women, especially in this past year, who have been through the ringer. And through it all, they still get up every day and they go back out to that field and they make sure that they're protecting members of that community who could not protect themselves without them. So if your dream and your drive is to get out and help people, to try to reduce crime, to try to save someone, to try to help and develop someone, I would say let nothing stand in the way of you deciding to take this job.